It's championship time. Let's go. All right, everybody. This is it. This is APDL Season 2 championship game between yours truly, Josh, coach of the Fargo Flygons, and DJ, head coach of the Laughlin Lurantis, better known as Silverhammer. Oh my goodness, we made it. It has been a long season. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of stress. And now it's time to do the darn thing and just finish it. Hope you guys like the team intro. I felt like it was time to do something, something memorable and cool no matter what happens today. But to get the whole squad some recognition for everything they've done this year, and I just kind of felt like doing something cool. So DJ and his team is extremely scary. Season 1 champion, knocked us out of contention in Season 1, and yeah, we're ready to get some revenge, and I'm so stoked for this game. I'm so ready for it. So let's jump into Team Builder, and we'll go over what we're bringing, and then we'll get into the hypest game we've played all season. Okay, so nothing fancy. The strategy for DJ was to kind of go back to basics a little bit on the offensive side of things, and you're going to see Garchomp and the Rain Core being the big threats, and stuff that we haven't brought in a while, to be honest with you. Kingdra and Pelipper have sat comfortably on the bench for a really long time, and now it's their time to shine, and I'm expecting a little bit of a weather war from DJ. So yeah, it's going to be important to kind of go through this alongside Garchomp and Pelipper and Kingdra. We're going to have a couple of my personal favorites, but also just like awesome mons. So let's talk about the Garchomp set so far here. We're running Life Orb, Rough Skin, Jolly. So maximizing our speed and our attack. We're running Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Stone Edge, and Poison Jab. I kind of was looking at what I wanted to do with Garchomp because it's been so versatile on the offensive side. I don't know. I felt like this week especially, we're just going to kind of go all in. We've got our all-in physical attacker in Garchomp, our all-in special attacker in Kingdra. I don't want to do anything cute. I don't want to do anything that's, you know, necessarily surprising. So I figured just like the tried and true EQ Dragon Claw, put Stone Edge on there for his flying types, and Poison Jab in there for his grass types, and you know, it's just like a fourth good coverage move in a mon that doesn't really need coverage because EQ and Dragon Claw are so strong. But 252 attack, 4 in special defense, the rest in speed. Yeah, Garchomp is going to go down swinging, and that's kind of exactly how I wanted to build this particular set. Moving into number 2, another physical attacker. We've run Scizor defensive almost the entire season. We had 1 week where we ran this choice band set, and I really love it. And you know, I think it just hits hard. Bullet Punch priority with Technician boost and band just is great. So we're gonna go with Bullet Punch, Knockoff, Dual Wing Beat, and U-turn. Like I said, choice banded, technician, adamant, 252 HP, 252 attack, the rest in special defense. Scizor's here to clean up and also just like one-shot his grass types and maybe even Surfetched if I can live a close combat, which is, if I'm at full health, I can do. Anywhere else gets a little dicier. So that's our Scizor, our Mordred for this week. Moving into number 3, the physically defensive boy this week is Arcanine, Rocky Helmet, Intimidate, Impish Nature, so positive defense, negative special attack. We're running Psychic Fangs to get rid of screens because Zapdos can learn screens, Klefki can learn screens, there's probably some other stuff, Venusaur maybe. I'm expecting Light Screen and maybe even Reflect from DJ, and I want to make sure that I can deal with those screens and let Kingdra kind of reign free. So Psychic Fangs is there for that. Flare Blitz is just the best fire type move I can put on it. Will-O-Wisp is there to cripple the Surfetched or the Golurk potentially, if I can get in for free and be able to use Will-O-Wisp. Morning Sun's there for recovery. We've got a bunch of HP and defense investment, a little bit in special defense, just kind of the leftovers. And Arcanine is here to wall Surfetched. And it does it really, really well, barring any crits, which is a thing with Surfetched. But I take laughable damage from that thing. And the combination of Rocky Helmet and Morning Sun make me pretty durable. And also like a threat on the defensive side. So I really love the Arcanine. It is a great physical answer. I'm really just scared of, well, anything special. But I'm like a Golurk Earthquake is pretty scary. However, I think we're okay. Next up on the list, as I take a drink of my coffee, like we said, we're bringing rain. Pelipper and Kingdra are back off the bench. You've seen this before. We're running Damp Rock, Drizzle, Bold Nature for Pelipper, Scald, Defog, Roost, and U-Turn. I'm not expecting hazards necessarily from DJ, but Defog gets rid of screens, so that's just another reason why to run it, and I think it's a great great option for me. Roost and U-Turn just for a little bit of longevity and pivot. Standard Bold Nature set, 252 in defense, 8 in special defense, a whole bunch in HP. We need to protect Pelipper, especially in a weather war, which I'm expecting DJ to bring. Ninetales versus this thing is going to be a little bit difficult to play around. However, I'm pretty confident in my switches into the Ninetales or kind of playing around that weather war game. That could be something that is a key component in the game, and we're ready for it. Next up is in our trio of water types with this lineup, Assault Vested Lantern. Yeah, Calm Nature, Volt Absorb, so Zapdos probably can't touch me. Scald, Discharge, Ice Beam, Volt Switch, a bunch in HP and special defense, a little bit in special attack. I think Lantern is amazing, and if you laugh at this thing and think it's overrated, just watch the game and you'll see. And then finally, Kingdra, Achilles, our team leader in kills, has been biding his time, waiting on the bench to be able to come in. We haven't used him in the playoffs so far. We haven't used him since like week 6 or something like that. It's been a long time since we've actually brought Kingdra. But we're bringing the choice specs: Swift Swim, Modest Nature, Surf, Hurricane, Draco Meteor, and Ice Beam. The standard modest set, so special attack and speed, get 252, foreign special defense. Kingdra is here to hopefully win us this game. But if we play our cards right, nothing can touch this thing. So we're gonna do our best, and we're gonna try to play around his threats, and I think we've got a pretty good shot at winning this game. I think in the stream and in the pre-game analysis, Garrett and Noah called me the favorite to win. I don't disagree, but I also don't agree with that. I think that DJ is an incredible player and that this is as even as it could be. So it'll be interesting to see what plays out here. So let's jump into gameplay. We have just a scary lineup from DJ, but a couple of notable things left off and kept on the bench. So as we said, we're running Garchomp, Scizor, Arcanine, Lantern, Pelipper, and Kingdra. DJ decided to bring Zapdos, which that's his best Pokemon. We knew that was coming. Inteleon, sure, it's fast, it hits hard, could see it. Sirfetch'd, we knew that was coming. It's a monster. It's surprisingly fast. It hits like a truck. Golurk, which I thought maybe he would bring, but we have a lot of answers for. Venusaur and Lurantis. No Sun. No Klefki. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about this, actually. From team preview, I was super nervous. Definitely was not going to take anything for granted with this game. But and looking at his lineup and thinking about like, well, okay, what do I lead with? Because I wasn't really sure that I had a good lead. You know, ideally I would go with like a Lantern or a Scizor to Volt Switch or U-turn out, but they're so slow. So it's like I'm going to take a hit no matter what, or just have to straight up switch. And I don't really want to start the game on the back foot. So in channeling our true avatar, Gary Oak, we lead with the Chomp. And we're just going to go 90 miles an hour from the start. So we get Garchomp in against his Zapdos. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, what can a Zapdos do to a Garchomp? Not much. So I feel super safe in going for a Stone Edge here, because if we hit it, it's going to do a bunch of damage. If we miss, that's unfortunate. But he's probably either going to switch or like, I don't know, roost and see what I'm going for. I'm going to be faster, so we know that for sure. Unless he's like Scarf or something, which you wouldn't want to Scarf Zapdos anyway. So I feel really good about going for Stone Edge. We get the hit. It does a ton of damage. And we're off to a great start. I am feeling really good about doing 72% health to his best Pokemon, or arguably one of his best Pokemon. So now he's going to Toxic me, which does a couple of things. So number one, tells me that he for sure is a bulky set, or like a Toxic Stall kind of, you know, probably has Roost, probably has, you know, Discharge or Volt Switch or something, and then a fourth move. He's got Toxic though. So Garchomp's on a timer, an even bigger timer, because I have a Life Orb and now I'm Toxic, so I'm going to start taking a bunch of damage every turn. So the thought was, you know, nothing on his team really wants to deal with Garchomp, so why don't we just fire off a Dragon Claw? I know it can kill the Zapdos, and I know it's kind of like the best middle ground play against anything else he wants to bring out. So that's what we're going to do. He's got the leftovers. Swaps out to Golurk, and a Dragon Claw just like does 60%. Sweet. We have weakened 2 gigantic threats, and like, unless this thing has like you know, like Sucker Punch, I'm gonna be faster. And I don't think DJ maybe thought it was gonna take as much damage as it did. Or maybe he just knew, okay, Golurk is my least important mon. I'm going to sack that off and get a free switch into something else. Maybe burn some turns of for some toxic damage. We go for another big Dragon Claw, and all of a sudden it's 6-5, and we're feeling really, really good. Toxic damage is going to bring me down to 34, and he brings in Inteleon. So, at this point in the game, I know that like Garchomp is good for about one more good solid smack, maybe two at the most if we switch him out and be able to bring him in for free and avoid the toxic damage. But it's going to be very, very close. I think Life Orb and the first round of Toxic should do about 22% damage. So I would be able to get off 2 hits if I can get in for free. Inteleon is spooky fast and probably scarfed. That's what I would guess. If you look, his max speed is also 372. So if his max speed is going to be faster than my Garchomp, who's at 333. So, you know, I value Garchomp, and I know it's good, like I said, potentially for 2 more hits, maybe just 1, but nothing on his team wants to get hit by Garchomp, so I'm pretty okay. Just swapping in our big boy Fishy, because I know Lantern's going to eat up this Shadow Ball, and 18%, really? Come on. We do get a good Paralyze on the discharge when he swaps to Venusaur, which is great. And I'm going to address one thing here. Actually, 2 things here. Number 1, Lantern's amazing. If you think it's a bad Pokemon, like, what are you doing? It just took 12 or 18% damage from an Inteleon. Okay. Assault Vested Lantern, great. Garrett's reaction when that move went off was pure gold. I don't think he thought it was going to be as fat as it was. So Lantern, awesome. I rest my case. Number 2, I did get a little lucky with some hacks in this game. We got a Paralyze off of this discharge, which is a 30% roll. So it's pretty, I mean, it's about the same chance as a Scald Burn. Which, spoilers, we're going to get one later on. So we did get a little lucky with hacks. But in the same time, I don't think in the grand scheme of things it mattered too much. It definitely matters later. But I did get a little lucky with hacks in this game. But it's Pokemon, so we have to deal with it. Okay, back to the game. Enough sidetracks. We get a Paralyze on the Venusaur, which is great. I don't want to take a Giga Drain as fat as our fish is, and as well, and especially bulky as it is. A special offensive Venusaur is going to do a bunch of damage to us with Giga Drain. So I swap out to Scizor because I'm immune to Sludge Bomb, and a Giga Drain is going to do like significantly less to my Scizor, and we can revenge kill it, or like, I don't, it's not even a revenge kill. We're just going to be faster now that it's paralyzed, and Dual Wing Beat obliterates Venusaur. Dual Wing Beat is so good against his team. Like, kills Venusaur for sure, kills Lurantis for sure, kills Sirfetch'd for sure. Inteleon probably dies as well. Zapdos lives, you know, at full health, obviously, but Dual Wing Beat's sick, and I'm kind of salivating over the possibility, but I know he's probably going to swap. He gets a Leech Seed off, so, you know, back to full health. We are seeded, and I really don't want to sit here and get, like, my Scizor, one of my main offensive threats. I don't want it to just take that residual damage over and over and over again. So I'm looking at my damage calc, and I see that U-Turn's doing a butt ton. And by butt ton, I mean 67%. So pretty good. And now I can go into really anything, and I decide that, you know what? let's get Rain up and just see here. Because I can get Rain in, see what he does, and then either, you know, potentially U-turn into Kingdra or, you know, maybe even something else. I wanted to be patient with the Kingdra. You know, Pelipper's great in the rain on its own. Rain boosted Scalds are pretty good. Pelipper's fat enough to where I can take a couple hits on the physical side. He's definitely got more special attackers left at this point. But I know I'm okay to stay in for now. And, you know, I'm not really super scared of what's going to happen. He does sleep powder me, though. And in doing that, two things. One, we avoid getting sleep powdered on the Scizor, which would have been detrimental to our game. And two, Pelipper's a rain setter that doesn't need to be awake to set the rain, so I really don't care. I swap out into Garchomp thinking that he's probably going to expect me to switch into Kingdra or some other, you know, big offensive threat, and I'm going to go for another sleep powder, which is what I thought he would go for. So I swapped in Garchomp because I'm already toxic and wouldn't fall asleep, and obviously Garchomp can kill this Venusaur or just like do a butt ton of damage to whatever's going to swap in. The Leech Seed on the Garchomp kind of ensures that I just get one hit off. But he goes to Inteleon, and we do a big chunk of damage to that as well. So Garchomp so far has taken Zapdos below 50, killed Golurk, and then almost killed Inteleon. So like the production out of Siegfried was awesome in this game. You know, we are pretty lucky that we got kind of these switches around. Now with the Toxic and the Leech Seed, Garchomp's going to go down, but that gives me a free switch into Scizor, and I can bullet punch my way into killing the Inteleon. So now we're 5-4 to where he's lost Inteleon, which is the fastest thing on his team, and Golurk, which was a big, scary threat. I'm obviously down my Garchomp, which sucks, but we're doing okay as far as score is concerned, and I have Scizor in the rain. Come at me, bro. Where's your Heat Wave? Which is kind of what I expected this Zapdos to go for. Or Discharge. You know, Heat Wave in the rain is doing far less damage. Discharge is definitely scary. I didn't want to get paralyzed, so I did switch in the Lantern, expecting a Discharge. And then maybe I could get a Volt Absorb, which would have been really, really cool. And now we get into kind of the middle meat section of the game, where we finally learn that the Zapdos has Light Screen. Now, I am prepared for this. I have Defog on the Pelipper, I have Psychic Fangs on the Arcanine. But this Zapdos is bulky. It's got Roost, it's got Toxic, it's got Light Screen, and it's got Discharge probably. I don't think at this point we know that, right? Yeah, we've just seen Toxic, Roost, and Light Screen. So as good of a matchup as my Lantern has against this thing, I can't get Toxic because then I'm going to lose. Even in the Light Screen, that Ice Beam did 18%, which is a good chunk for something that doesn't have any offensive investment hardly at all. I think we have like 4 points in offensive investment. But a great little bit of chip, and now I have to like start thinking about, okay, I need to kill Zapdos. I need to deal with the screens. So I'm going to swap out into Arcanine because I want to get a Psychic Fangs off. And the Toxic come down and hits the Arcanine, which if I'm going to have one of my walls get Toxic, I would rather it be the Arcanine than the Lantern. because Arcanine has Morning Sun and has a little bit of recovery. So not bad there. I want to go for Psychic Fangs here as he roosts to get rid of the screens. And now I go into Pelipper to reset the rain, obviously. But also because I want to try and get a defog off when he goes for this light screen that I know is going to come. At this point, I'm like, okay, if I can just keep rain, there's always a threat of Kingdra coming in. And being able to, even with a light screen up, rain boosted surf is going to do a lot no matter what. And that's kind of the game plan moving forward. Oh gosh, my hair is so bad. There we go. Okay. So he goes for the light screen, and I'm like, maybe we get the one turn wake up. We don't. The Lurantis comes in front of the light screen. And, you know, this thing is scary. It can be physical. It can be special. And it's not going to be a good friend of ours regardless of what happens. So I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to go for Scald and try and get a burn if I wake up, or if I just want to get these screens out of the way because, you know, obviously that's super scary. So I do go for Defog, and he misses the Leaf Storm. So we get a little lucky there. But it's essentially like nothing happened that turn. We're still asleep. He goes into Zapdos again. I'm still asleep, which is a bummer. And now I'm expecting a Discharge to come out, and he just roosts. Which I don't know if that was a misclick or if he was expecting me to... I don't know I don't know why he roosted there. I really don't. I guess it was maybe like a middle ground play, a safe play. But we definitely got lucky. We get Lantern in, but now I'm like kind of back to square one where, you know, light screen's going to be up for one more turn. I've got rain for 4. I'm assault vested. He's going to have toxic. Let's just fire off a move and see how much damage we can do. He goes for light screen again. The ice beam doesn't do anything, which is fine. And now he toxics me, and I get the slow Volt Switch out. And at this point, I wanted to go into Scizor because I wanted to get a knockoff off. I valued getting the leftovers off of this thing to help the long-term struggle that is going to be trying to break down this wall. And I know that, like, I can live a Discharge, and I'm gonna chance the Paralyze. And I really, really hope that I don't get hit with that para, because then that... Well, let's just say Scizor has not had the greatest luck with Paralyze in the past. So we go for... the Discharge comes in, does 42% because he's not offensive. We do get the knockoff off. We do a good chunk of damage. We get the leftovers off, and now it's actually tied in HP here, but I don't want to take another Discharge. Now knockoff is not going to do that much, and he's probably going to roost anyway. So I swap out into Pelipper, knowing he's probably going to get a roost off. And it's a free switch in to get rain back up, which is great. We had rain for the majority of this game, and that was a big part of our game plan. And now I stayed in because I was trying to get a defog off, which we end up doing. And now I'm thinking, okay, if we live, if he goes for toxic, or if he goes for another light screen, we can at least fire off a Scald or something in the rain. Maybe we get a burn. He misses the toxic, thankfully, and we actually do get the Scald, and we do get the burn, which is great. So, like I said, we did get a little lucky with the hacks, but it's a 30% chance to get a Scald burn and Discharge Paralyze. So it's 1 in 3. It's pretty good odds comparably. And now I'm thinking, well, Pelipper's kind of done its job, and I don't really want to take a Discharge again. And at this point, I kind of read that he's going to want to roost and not go for a discharge because he wants to keep this thing as healthy as possible. And I either thought that a light screen or a roost was going to come out, so it's a free switch into Kingdra, and now I'm just going to try and kill this thing. If he roosts, that means there's no light screen, and between Surf and Burn, he's probably going to die. If he does light screen, he's at a low enough health total to where I can whittle him down as we go. And that's exactly what happens. He light screens, and I Surf, barely lives, roosts up, and he takes a little bit of burn damage. But we're chipping away. We're doing like 2 to 4% every cycle through here, and that's a winning battle for me, to where we do end up getting the Surf kill, and now it's 5 to 3. We're doing really, really well at this moment, and this also means that there's no more light screen for the rest of the game unless like the Venusaur has it, which I doubt. So because of that, I want to get my big wall in to deal with a Giga Drain or something if it's coming. We can stall out the light screen turns, we can reset the rain with Pelipper, and we should be able to win from here. I'm really thinking that we're in the driver's seat. Arcanine is a huge counter to the Sirfetch'd, and the combination of what I have left is going to be good enough to deal with the couple of threats that he has. So I'm feeling really, really confident, even though I know like the game is far from over. We get into a spot where I just kind of have realized that Lantern's usefulness is pretty much done. So I'm just going to stay in, tank out some hits, keep firing off Ice Beams, and whittle this Venusaur down as much as I can. I have conceded the fact that Lantern is going to die here in this trade, but doing some damage to the Venusaur along the way is going to be a good thing. So I do go down, and it's 3 to 4. We're able to go into Scizor. I'm faster because of the Paralyze, and the dual Wing Beat ends the Venusaur's career. Again, now we get into a spot where the Sirfetch'd, and I'm going to go back one turn here real quick. So let's do the dual Wing Beat kill here. And now he sends in Sirfetch'd. Close combat destroys me. I'm at 46% health. Scizor is really important with Bullet Punch and dual Wing Beat for that matter. But a close combat from this thing kills me. Straight up. No questions asked. It does like 76%. First impression doesn't kill me. But there's no reason for him to go for it because, for one, I'm Steel Bug type. So we resist it really, really well. It's not stab. But also, like I said, Sirfetch'd is going to be faster than my Scizor. And I'm locked into dual Wing Beat, so I don't have priority for Bullet Punch. However, if he uses close combat, which I think he will, to kill me, Arcanine can swap in, take the hit, probably die. But the Rocky Helmet, along with the defense drop from the close combat, will let me revenge kill this thing with Bullet Punch, no problem. So that's the line of thinking that I have right now. He goes for the close combat. We knew it. He got the crit. Great. We get the defense drop in the Rocky Helmet. Scizor comes out and Bullet Punches. And now the score is 3 to 1. Now Lurantis, the mascot, is still no joke. We're going to go for Bullet Punch. It's bulky. It's got HP. It's got defense investment probably. We do 37%, which is totally fine. And now I'm in a spot where, okay, kind of looking at what I have left and kind of where things line up. Scizor has done an amazing job, but it's time to just kind of tunnel in and just keep clicking Bullet Punch. I know he can use his contrary ability to start boosting his stats, but I don't think he's got any way to increase his special defense. So I'm just going to keep chipping away. He's going to use superpower, raise that attack and defense. And I'm just going to keep chipping away with bullets, or with bullet punch. He's going to use leaf storm to get his special attack up. But speed and special defense are unchanged. So I thought about this for a little bit longer than I probably needed to, but I wanted to be 100% sure that if I switched in Kingdra right now, I could kill it. And I can. And with one more Ice Beam, Kingdra wins us the championship. What a game. What a season. You know, I worked my backside off for this. And between the content creation and putting up videos and being a lot more strategic in how I drafted and what free agent swaps I made, and just like overall putting in a ton of effort and work over the last 10 weeks, got us to the top of Mount Silver. And we beat the Season 1 champion. We beat a team that has come crashing through the ranks, started very poorly, and then won, like, you know, 4 billion weeks in a row to get from basically last to, or tied for last to, the runner-up in the season. Like, what? Oh, man. It feels good. And it feels good to win with, like, the team that I had looked at way back when we started, and thinking, okay, I really love Pelipper Kingdra. I'm going to draft Rain when nobody else was drafting Weather. And I think we did something really, really cool with that strategy. And this season was just a blast. I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I'm taking the me time to be able to kind of maybe say some things and kind of do like a season wrap up of my thoughts on kind of where the APDL has come. You know, when Noah and a couple of us had talked way back when, before Season 1 even started, we wanted to do this thing. I don't think anybody really realized how big of a thing it would become for our friend group, for this you know, group of trainers. It's been like the highlight of my week, every single week. It's been super, super fun. And I can't wait for Season 3 and seeing all these teams come back. We've had a lot of really awesome games, a lot of awesome, you know, teams, out of the box thinking. You know, I love, like I said, the content creation stuff has been super fun. Making these videos, watching everybody else put up videos or put up reactions or be guests on shows and stuff. It's been really, really fun. Not something that I ever thought I would do, and I'm really glad that we are doing it. My team... to Noah. He's my consistent scrimmage partner and team prep, kind of bouncing ideas off of. I definitely could not have gotten this far without help from him, and definitely want to shout out all of the other people in the draft league that have taken it so seriously but also had a ton of fun. That's like what we wanted to start this for is to have fun, but it turned out to be this really super competitive and really fun environment to be able to play against each other. And I would just want to say thank you to everybody else that participated in Season 2. I hope everybody comes back for Season 3. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different. And yeah. I guess the only other thing that I'll say is the award show is tonight. We're going to record it and then upload it. Recording starts at 9:30, so watch your YouTube feeds and Discord channels later, probably like 10:30, 11, depends, maybe tomorrow morning. But we're going to get that recorded tonight. It's going to be great. We've got me and Noah and Garrett and Sean kind of sharing our thoughts, and DJ voted on season awards as well. So that'll be super cool, be able to go through and give everybody a little bit more of a pat on the back for a job well done. And then kind of like the last big announcement that I'll make is that for Season 3, we're going to do a little bit of rebranding. The Fargo Flygons are coming back for Season 3, but we are going to be relocating to Farmington. So the Fargo Flygons are going to become the Farmington Flygons. Still get to keep that FF alliteration. But I personally am moving, and so the franchise is coming with me. So thanks again. Thanks for watching the video. Sorry for the 5 minutes of rambling here at the end, but I really appreciate it. And yeah, go Flygons.